um, thinking about just how do we move forward in life? How do we keep on accomplishing, keeping this momentum going? And so tonight, as we are hanging out, just wanted to talk to you about the idea of a greater experience in love and what that could actually mean on a practical level for our lives, right? If you want to have a greater experience in life, then I believe that love is the best vehicle to get you there. Because love, as I always say, love is going to take you to a higher place. What's happening in Louisiana? Where's everybody else checking in from? So, yeah, love is going to take you to a higher place, and because of that, you get to have a greater experience. And here's a thought for greatness, right? If you want to have anything in your life, if you want to experience something great, greatness is always a matter of service. If you remember that, it's just going to do fantastic things for you. So, Louisiana, Olivia's in Canada, Wonder Women is in Miami, Shafina's in Toronto. So this is international, right? We're having an international experience. That's what's up. That's great. So let's talk about this thing called a greater experience in love, right? Let's see. Communication of our feelings has brought us closer. Absolutely. So, you know, those opportunities for something greater, what do we have to do? It always is going to require something of us to do. If we're going to have something greater, we're going to have to do something. So here's the question: what can you serve for a greater experience? Tonight, to the text community, I sent out a message to the text community, and it was a message of the RV, and it was parked out by mountains and the whole backdrop. And I encouraged those that I send the text messages to think about a vacation that they can make a lifestyle, right? And then dream that it's possible. So think about this. If there was something in your life that you wanted to dream of, something that you wanted to have, some experience that you wanted to have, might be like the top experience or something fantastic that you want, dream about that. And then dream, how can I make this more than just a vacation, something that I once in a while experience? Because really, a vacation is something that is a break from our norm. We typically really enjoy it. We get to leave what we normally do, and then we go back to something that's, it's all right. It's life. We're doing it, but we don't necessarily, it's not like the vacation. But how can we create in our lives that experience that is the one that draws us, the one that fires us up, the one that fills us up, the experience that we want to have? How do we get there? That's the greater experience in love, right? That's the greater experience. How do we get to the greater experience? Through love. We have to serve it, right? We have to serve. We have to serve whatever the requirements are of that experience. See, it's one thing to think about serving a person because we want something or we want to have an experience with a person. Well, in relationships, we still have relationships to our dreams. We still have relationships to our hopes. We still have relationships to aspirations as well. And what we are aspiring to, that has a requirement too. That has a requirement just like a person would have a requirement. So it's going to ask you for something, it's going to require that you do something. So, how do you serve the dream? For instance, you want to change your body, you want to lose a few pounds, you want to run a marathon. So you are in a relationship with this goal, this dream of running a marathon. How do you serve it? What are you willing to do to have that experience of a greater love, a greater experience? What are you willing to do because you love that idea so much? What are you willing to do? Are you willing to wake up tomorrow and start your program, couch the 5K, and start walking? Right. You want to learn how to cook. Are you willing to go online, go to the grocery store, get some recipes, go buy some pots and pans and utensils, do what you need to do in order so that you can start practicing? See, here's a story, right? So growing up, I wanted to be a professional baseball player all the way up through college. I wanted to play pro ball. Now, I grew up in the Northeast in Philadelphia, is when I was in high school, I lived in Philadelphia, and in Philly in the winter it's cold and we get snow. And guess what? People don't want to stand outside and play catch with you when it's cold and snowy in Philly. No, that's not what they're trying to do. And when it's warm, maybe somebody will play catch with me. But when it's cold and snowing, talking about inches and a foot of snow, nobody wants to go outside and play catch. So what I had to learn how to do so that I could have a greater experience was I had to figure out how I was going to do this thing by myself. So I remember one time I'm training, I'm preparing because I want to play pro ball. I want to be the best of the best. I want to be amongst the elite. So what I did was I went out and I shoveled a path at the local playground, at the playground that was by my house, and I shoveled a path and I drew on the wall a square and I started throwing the ball against the wall. And it would roll back in the snow and I would throw it against the wall. And so I was having to catch against the wall. Why? Because I wanted a greater experience. I wanted a greater experience than playing catch against the wall. So what did I do? Played catch against the wall. I wanted a greater experience, but in order for me to have the greater experience, I had to do what was there. See, sometimes we want a greater experience, but we're not willing to do what's right here, right in front of us right now. You want a greater experience in a relationship romantically? Okay, here's the question. What can you do right now? What can you do right now to start practicing for something greater? What effort can you put in this moment into your business, into your education, into your development, into your mindset? What can you put into this moment that will actually give you momentum and energy that's moving towards a greater experience? It's not going to just happen accidentally. See, we can say we want greater, but if we don't handle right here, we'll never have it. Because we always have to start where we stand. And guess what? In order to have the experience that is before us, we have to handle what is before us right here. Because guess what? There's some things that need to change in us right here in order for us to have the greater. Who you are right now, it's not the same person who you're going to be when you have the greater experience. So if you want to get to the greater, here's what you do. You go out, you start looking at the greater, you start experiencing the greater, you start internalizing the greater, start meditating on the greater, and then you bring back that experience to your right now and you start working as if you were standing in the greater. When I was playing as a young high school kid, growing up in the era of Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, I would watch Michael Jordan play ball. I would watch Michael Jordan go to the stadium, right? I watched how Michael Jordan would always have on a suit and tie when he was going to his games. This is Mike, right? Michael Jordan. He had the commercial, like Mike, if I could be like Mike. And I remember watching him and I said, okay, I want to be like Mike. I'm preparing for the next level. On the next level, pro ball players, they go in, they're suited up. Mike, he's the best of the best to ever do it. I'm looking at Jordan. What does Jordan do? Jordan, okay, he has on the tie, he has on the suit, he's going in, it's business. So I'm going to high school. Mom, I'm suited up on game days. I'm going to be suited up because this is Mike does. Mike Jordan does this. I'm going to do this too. I started seeing myself on that level. I needed to become like Mike because I said, I'm going to go to that next level. I want to see how he's doing it. Next level. I'll give you something more practical. Right now, I'm shooting videos, got a couple cameras set up, got, little, webcam set up and all that. Because the people that I interact with that do it, they say, hey, this is what we do. We do this. We set up cameras, and you need to go invest in a microphone, and you need to have some lighting, and here's some things you need to work on. This is what you need to do for the next level, right? You want to grow your YouTube channel. Okay, here's what you do your YouTube channel like this, and this is what you do, and these are the steps. I can listen to them. They've gone to a new level. They're at another level. I said, okay, I want to know what they're doing. How is it that you can speak a message and you're impacting millions upon millions upon millions of people? Okay, I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're doing. How come you sold 35, 40 million books? I want to know what you're doing. I want to hear from you. I need to see myself in that light. When I was working with women, one woman told me, she said, you know, you're like the male Oprah. You're Bropra. That's what she called me. She said, you're the male Oprah. She said, you're Bropra. And I said, okay, I like it. And I remember when Oprah Winfrey was going off the air and it was announced that she was going off the air, you know what I thought? I thought, oh, wow, Oprah's going off the air. That means there's going to be an opportunity for someone to fill the void that Oprah is going to be leaving. I want to fill that void. I'm going to be that person. So I needed to start talking. I needed to start developing. I needed to start working on content. I needed to start working on ideas because I wanted to be in that space where Oprah was. But where does it start? It's going to start right here. I got to turn on my camera. I need to start talking. I need to start connecting with people. I need to start. If you want to have a greater experience, you have to start. There will come a day where I'm not going to set up all my own lighting and cameras, and I won't edit all my own video. There's going to come a day that's going to change. But you have to start. What is the greater experience in love that you want that you need to start? That's the question. What do you need to start? What do you need to do? Someone asked me, they said, what's the text community? Well, the text community that I set up is a way for me to send out messages of encouragement to people that want a greater experience with me that's beyond the social media platforms. It's another level of intimacy because some people, they want me, they like getting encouragement from me, ding, right on their phone. Text message. Hey, boom, send it out. I have something to tell you, something to share with you. I can send it out. They get a message on their phone. It's another level, a different experience. See, I wanted to provide a greater experience in love because I love those that I serve. Here, I want to provide a greater experience. What else can I do? Okay, people have their phones. They open their phones. If you can see some inspiration right to your phone or some encouragement right to your phone or get a random happy birthday right to your phone, that's going to build my connection with those that I serve. And at first, when I first started, I used to just send out all the messages by hand from my phone. Okay, then that was too much. I'm like, all right, now I need to have a better system. Then I was like, okay, I can do Google Voice, and I can send it out that way. Okay, then we outgrew that. Then there was another level. Oh, okay, there are now systems and programs that can help me send out messages. But I had to start. You have to be faithful with the few in order to grow to the greater. You have to take care of the little bit before you're going to have the more. So often we just get caught up and we think about like, I can never get to the more. I want something more out of my life. I want something more out of my bank account. I want something more. I want something greater. All right. What price are you willing to pay now? What are you willing to do now? Like, do something now. You want to have a business. Like, you're like, oh, one day I see myself as Betty Crocker. Okay. But did you bake a cake today? When was the last time your oven was running? When was the last time you did what you did? When was the last video you made? When was the last, song that you sung? When was the last time you played a new piece of music? When was the last time you were babysitting a kid? When was the last time that you kissed your spouse for 5, 10 minutes? When was the last time you turned off your phone so that you could just have some quality time? If you want a greater experience, there's some things that you can do right now, but you have to start. Like there's think about it like this. Here's one of my favorite thoughts is this. If it is humanly possible and you are human, you can do it. It can be done. If it's humanly possible and you're a human, it can be done. There is a chance, there is a possibility. You might not know everything right now, and great. If you don't, that means you have space to grow. Birds don't just, break the shell and fly the next moment. No, that's not how it works. No. First, they have to develop within the shell. And then at a certain point, something kicks in and they say, hmm, this environment is too small for me. I need something greater. Once they realize I need something greater, then they begin banging on their situation right where they stand so they can be free from it. And they begin pecking and pecking and pecking and pecking until they break free. And get this, they're not pecking all over the place. They pick up a particular spot. Boom, I'm just gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this spot. Boom, I'm gonna keep hitting it. I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it well. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it well. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it well. I went out and I was gonna play catch. I was gonna have a stronger arm. I wanted to have a stronger arm. I'm gonna play catch against this wall. I'm gonna play catch against this wall. Here comes the snow. I'm gonna play catch against this wall. It's hot. I'm gonna play catch against this wall. Rain, catch. Then before long, my arm was getting stronger. I'm developing. I'm going to college. My coach told me, you're going to be on the bench. Before long, I was starting. Before long, a couple years, I was team captain. But you got to start somewhere. So, where are you going to start? Here's a little encouragement for you tonight, right? This weekend. Do this. Have your best dreams. Sit down for a few minutes and allow yourself to actually have your greatest and best dreams. I would encourage you to grab a piece of paper. It's one of my favorite tools, paper and pen, paper and pencil, and have your greatest dreams. Just sit back and just begin thinking, begin writing. Just write your dream. You've heard that I built the school, right? But it started as an idea of a chain of 24-hour daycares. And then I just kept thinking about how I wanted this to be. And I kept adding to it and making it bigger and just making it bigger. I believe just dream like the paper. Here's the thing about the paper. The paper is not going to tell you that you can't write on it whatever you desire to write on it. This piece of paper is not going to give me any limitations. As long as there's some there, I can keep on writing and I can write whatever I want. It's never going to tell me, hey man, you can. What do you mean you want to have 10,000 acre farm with a hotel on it and with housing on it, so that women who are in situations that have been abused, they can have a place where they can actually buy a home and be safe. And what do you mean you want to have a hotel where it's going to be a resort destination where families and women come there and they learn and they have business classes and entrepreneurship and development and coaching and family relationship help? What do you mean that's what you want? And you want to have a big lake there so that people can be out on the lake. And then what do you mean you're going to have this huge barn dominium with horses, all kinds of horses in it, and you're going to have 100 horses? What do you mean? It's not going to tell me that. It's not going to tell me that. This thing is going to let me say whatever I want to it. So why don't we just talk more to the paper and less to the people that were going to discourage us? See, when you start to know, I went the other day to the Five Below. I bought a journal book, like a drawing book, and I started drawing out the way that I want it to look. And as I was drawing, the more that I drew, hold on. You want me to go get it? I'll go get it. Just hang here for just a second. I'll be right back. Talk nicely to each other. All right. So yeah, so I said, okay. Oh man, it's so light. Okay, when I draw very, very light. But let me hold this up close. Maybe you can see it. All right, can you see it? So I was drawing. You can see it a little bit, right? So I'm drawing, and there's a lake and everything like that. But as I was drawing, right? So as I'm drawing, I started to have a little fun with it. I said, okay, I actually want the driveway. I started thinking about the driveway and how it expands. And so what I started doing was I'm drawing, and the area is starting to take the shape of a baseball diamond. And I was like, oh, so somebody that's there, like driving up, they wouldn't really know it. But if you had an aerial view and you look down on it, it would actually look like a baseball diamond, which is like a little hidden little thing. But now you all know it because I just told you. So it's like it looks like a baseball diamond and it has all this space. My point is, like, it exists in my mind. Somebody asked me, like, when did you start? Like, I'm always starting something and I'm always working on something. I tell people this: if you see me right now, I'm not really here. Yeah, I'm here physically. I'm not trying to get like woo-woo on you or nothing. I'm not really here. I'm somewhere else. My mind has already gone into the future to see where I am. So I'm in my future. You might see my body here, but I'm in my future. Right? So like when I started talking, we can go back through social media and we could probably go back 10, 11 years on Facebook with me going live, driving to work and things like that. 15 years, and I was recording videos and talking and sharing, and right, 15 years ago. Might be one person watching it, two people, might have been no one watching it, but I was practicing. Right? When I was back in college and I started to see myself, and I said, okay, I want to be a speaker. I want to speak and I want to make a difference with my voice, and I would practice. I would talk to people and I would listen. And so I've been doing it, talking, sharing, just getting in the environment of learning how to serve. I can go back through my life. I worked with kids that were like toddlers, like little toddlers, 3 and 4 years old, creating fitness programs for them, writing kids books and telling stories. Right? I'm like, if I can engage and keep the attention of a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old, that's good stuff. Learning how to build connection. Like, what kind of energy do I need to bring to this 3-year-old? Working with seniors, working with people that had physical disabilities and they were in wheelchairs. And I said, okay, how do I help this person who's in this wheelchair, who feels like their life is passing them by? How do I help them have value? How do I help them see the value in their life? And I remember there was this one woman, she was in the wheelchair, and she had been in a wheelchair for quite some time. And I helped her into the swimming pool. We had to help her, and she would get out of her wheelchair, and then she would had to put her in this other kind of mechanical chair, and it would take her over and put her down in the pool, and I would help her and I would hold her in the pool so that she could move in this pool, have an experience. See, I started to just open my mind up to the possibilities, and I said, okay, I'll do it. Here's why. I'll do it because I don't see anybody else doing it. I don't see anybody running to go do it. So somebody else might walk past someone that they might consider them just lowly or whatever, but you see it, then you just do something about it. That's how I got started working with women. It was because I would listen and I would do something about what they were telling me. So when a woman told me, I want to lose weight, I don't know what to do. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to look like a man. I've never been a woman any day of my life, but I was like, this woman, she has something that she wants in her life. She doesn't know how to get there. She doesn't want to be hurt. She doesn't want to look like a man. So I'll figure it out. I see one of my girls now. One of the ladies I work with now just showed up. I was like, let me do something about it. So I needed to learn as much as I could while listening to her. That's why on my bookshelf, I have a book. Right? I have a book right here on my bookshelf. This is not normal, right? Look at this. Look what this book says. You see what this book says? Dr. Susan Love's Breast Book. You see how thick this book is? This book is thicker than the Bible. Okay, this book is huge. But when you work with women, and sometimes they have, what about, I need to go in for a mammogram. I need to go in. I need to, what about struggles of breast cancer or breast health? Okay. Let me study. Let me study so I can serve. Let me just tell you, so often we get limited by what we think we're not. Give yourself permission to go because you see the opportunity. Do something about it. Have a greater experience in life. Have a greater experience in love because you see an opportunity to serve and help something be greater. You want a greater experience? Serve the moment. Listen, I'll give you some more insights. Like I reach out to, I text the lingerie companies. I'm like, oh, hey, the such and such panty line or your bra series, it's not getting good reviews. The ladies that I work with, they say no. Or they're upset that you don't carry their size or whatever. Listen, please. I've sent messages to Adore Me, like, hey, listen, you guys are doing a great job with your stuff, coming out with some creative things, nice pieces. There was a time when I first started where I might have questioned myself a little bit, like, well, who am I? Then I started to realize who I was. See, same question, who am I? Like, who am I to think that I could do this? And then you say, who am I to think that I could do this? Who am I? Same question, just different emphasis. Like, who am I? I think like this. Who am I? Man, I must really be about it, because look at me thinking like this, thinking of a greater experience. So now, as I was sharing with you a few moments ago, where I'm thinking 10,000 acres, building a hotel, building homes, building an educational program, helping women start their entrepreneurship, begin their businesses, grow in their companies. accelerate on the job, have strong families, build healthy relationships. Okay. Huh. Then I said this. I'm like, well, we'll impact the industries too. So if all of these ladies have a complaint about how clothing is being designed or how something is being portrayed in the world, and they don't like how women are being represented or this or that, guess what? All of these women now have a voice. It's different. Who am I? Who am I to think that there can be a greater experience? I'm a person that believes it. So what do you think? What do you believe? We don't all have the same we don't all have the same thought process. We don't all have the same areas in life that will call us to a greater experience. But whatever your greater experience is, wherever that opportunity is, it is up to you to do something about it. Make no mistake. That area has been given to you for you to do something about it. You want to have more adventure in your life? That area has been given to you. That thought has been given to you. It's been sparked within you for you to do something about it. When you see a greater experience of life, then guess what? Love has deposited that within you. That's what love does. Love says, I'll show you something greater that you have to work for. Like I'm t- and and Pat, I can't see. I think it says Pat. It says thank you for being and representing those whose voices are a bit low. The reason, and you're welcome. The reason I, the reason that you would even say that to me is because I was that person. I was the person whose voice was low, right? I was the person who was like uncertain and unsure. I was that person. And so as I have grown and I'm no longer that person, now I get to go back and I get to be around people that perhaps are in that place. And I get to say, hey, no, 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 you don't got to stay here. Trust me. I used to be like you. I used to be in this spot. No, you have more voice. That's why I talk about being unapologetically powerful and finding your voice of value because I used to be there. And that place will be torment. And it is so draining because you feel like, I don't know, like, what is my purpose? What's my point? Why am I even here? What? I have nothing. And you feel very empty because you don't feel like you're contributing to life. Or if you do, it's at such a low level that you're like, man, I'm not really convinced, right? You could do stuff and not be convinced that you really make a difference. And it's hard when you're living a life when you feel like you don't matter. And so my thing is, here's what you got to do. You got to start pressing in, you got to start moving. And then what happens is you start to find that voice. That voice, as I say often, is discovered. Dis means not, covered means concealed. It is not concealed. Your voice becomes no longer concealed by what has been going on. That's why you got to start moving. Throwing the ball against the wall, that's a part of me having a voice because I was determined to go to that next level, even though my situation was contrary to it. But my situation was the payment. It was the down payment for where I was going in my future. What did it teach me? Yes, I got a stronger arm, but what did it teach me? It taught me that, guess what? You got to do this thing whether or not somebody shows up or not. What do you like setting up these computers and setting up these cameras? What is it teaching me? It's teaching me how to show up, how to prepare, how to serve. 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What does it tell me? How to show up, how to be there, how to share, how to make. Do you know? Side note, do you know that every time before I turn on this camera at around 9 o'clock, I'm nervous? I noticed it today. I was like, I'm still nervous. I still get nervous prior to turning on these cameras. And I do it every day, multiple times a day, and I still get nervous. And you know what I think? That's a part of being sharp. It's a part of me being aware that this moment means something, that this moment could change someone's life, that this moment is me showing up, making myself available and vulnerable with stories, and somebody could say something or whatever. That's a part of the journey. But I was always nervous when I played ball too. And I played ball from the time I was 5 to the time that I was in college. So, like, no excuses. We just have to start. You want to cook something? Go ahead, start cooking. Burn a couple meals. I'm looking at my heat press. I have a heat press, and I remember when I started my print shop and my print company, and I went to learn how to make apparel and do that kind of stuff, design apparel, build brands. I remember, well, it wasn't that like it was that long ago, but I had a box of shirts that were all mistakes. Sometimes, the ink wouldn't work out, or sometimes the dryer was too hot. Oh, let me just tell you, there is not much of a worse feeling than doing like hundreds and hundreds of shirts, only to get to the end when you're folding them up and to know that the heater was on too hot and it burnt them all. And there was brown streak of from the heat that burnt each and every one of the shirts. And I had to go and order 200 and something more shirts and do it all over again. That is not a good feeling, but that is a part of the process. It's a process. You want greater love in your life? Go ahead, prepare for the failure, prepare for the mistake, prepare for the oops, prepare to lose some money, prepare to go down before you go up. And that's just a part of it. If you think that you're going to rise without first taking a little bit of a dip, you don't understand how this thing works. You go down a little bit. You take a little bit of a hit, but you know what that also does? It prepares you. Right? Like, think about it. The next time you see someone jump, think about what they do. They're going to squat down. Their muscles are going to engage and get tightened, and then they're going to get tense, and then they explode out of that. But there's a lowering, boom, then they jump. So don't even worry about going low. It's all right. Right? Don't worry about it. Just start. And so here's my just encouragement to you tonight. Grab some paper, grab a pencil, grab a book, grab some, something. This is your friend. And just talk to your friend with your dreams. Make it as big and as grand as you could possibly come up with. And as you write it down, come back to it and add some more stuff to it. Like, just keep on pouring into this possibility. If you have a pen, if you have a paper around you, you have everything that you need. But if you're unwilling to write a few things down, I can tell you right now, you're not going to go. You're not going to do it. You're going to get busy. There's going to be something else that comes up, and there's going to be a distraction. This is an investment. Start thinking about the investment of seeing your thoughts. Write them down, then read them back to you. I have notebooks upon notebooks of just things. I could pull out a notebook and just start reading to you visions, ideas of dreaming of how to serve the women that would be a part of my life. I believe that there is a certain group of people that are called to be a part of my life. I want to be able to serve all of them. Some of them are women, some of them are men, some of them are children. I believe that there's a certain number of people, a certain group of people that in my lifetime will come into my life that I am meant to serve. I want to be there. I want to be ready. I want to be able to deliver. I want to be able to encourage them to another level. I want to be able to show them a greater experience. Why? Because I believe in greater love, which means I believe in serving. Greater love equals greater service. You want to see greater love? Serve greater. Serve your dream greater, serve your spouse greater, serve your family greater, serve your ideas greater, serve your way into greater love. Draw, dream, get somebody to make it for you. Like this, stop here. I'm gonna shut it down because I could just talk about this all night. But stop being the brakes. Somebody needs that. You stop being the brakes. You don't need to be the person that's always stopping you. And I know you're doing it in the name of being cautious. Like, I just want to make sure that I'm being responsible. Come on now. Like, stop it. Stop being the brakes. I have this saying. I'm like, I'm going to be the gas. I'll let God be the brakes. Now, you might not believe in God, but that's what my saying is. My saying is that I'm going to be the gas. I'm going to go. I'll let God say no. Because if the doors are going to be closed, they're going to be closed. I don't need to close them. You don't need to close them. Well, don't close your own doors. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't tell yourself it's not possible. You could use all that energy and just say, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And if it doesn't work, well, at least you didn't stop yourself. You don't have to have the regret of, well, I didn't go for it. Come on now. So do that. Do that tonight. Do it this weekend. Write it down. Take an invisible thought, put it down on some paper, make it a tangible expression through some ink. And then fuel it. Like, just fuel that. Right? Like, boom, go, 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 go. Foot is in the tank. That's what I'm saying. Push it down. Get it going. Let's go. Get it going. We got to get back. We got to get into a zone of go. It's go time. Go, go, go. All right. So I appreciate you all for being here, for hanging on this Friday. Thanks for being encouragement. You know, it makes a huge difference. Like I said, it's a dream coming true. You're helping that dream come true because you're here. And so every chance we get to be together, every chance I'm able to serve and give and hopefully encourage the best of you to life is a good day. It's time well spent. So thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. Enjoy this fantastic Friday or whatever day it is, wherever you are in the world. But I appreciate you being here. Let me just quick prayer. Thank you, Father, for this day, for the blessings of this day and the blessings of all of those that are here that are just incredible vessels of possibility waiting to be revealed. Thank you for the greater experiences of love that they will have. No doubt about it, that tonight is a new night. It's starting something brand new in their lives, and I'm thankful in advance for it happening. I am thankful for the person that's deciding that they are going to serve something greater into their life, into the lives of others, that's going to make a world of difference. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for empowering them with great thoughts and for the power to take action. And so I pray as everyone moves forward that they do so with fire, a renewed fire, a fresh fire, a stronger fire, so that they will see the fire that they have in their life spread out. I pray that it would be a wildfire consuming all fear and doubt, unbelief, that the fire of their life, the passion of their life would consume the pain, the suffering, the trauma, that they, as they move forward, that they would be healed as they go, that they would be victorious as they go, that their life would be transformed as they go. I pray that you would just give them a spirit of go so that they can see their dreams and their visions that are within them realized. Thank you so much. for this night. I pray that you would keep each and every person safe, bless their homes, their families, their health, their finances, their lives. Thank you in advance. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll connect tomorrow at some point, probably around 2 to 3 o'clock, somewhere like that. But we're gonna keep it going. But have a fantastic night. I am B.A. Shepherd, 2P's ARD, reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. Have a fantastic night. Good night. Love you much.